Hi, welcome everyone back to Let's Play Sunrider Mask of the Arcadius. Last time, we engaged some pirates and blew up their asteroid and everything else that resembled the pirates in the asteroid belt. And now we're gonna go celebrate. Indeed it is. Cool. Yeah, what is gonna happen with Chigara? Okay. Yeah. Probably shouldn't leave loose ends. Probably in. Oh no, she's here. Yeah. Also, you're doing my R&D, whether you like it or not. Because how many other people do you know can just transform cash into whatever weapon systems we're using? Oh hey, a captain's log. We're close enough to the beginning of the episode, we'll just keep it rolling. Okay, working on commerce rating. Oh, an encrypted transmission. Really? The Solar Alliance? This is Admiral Gray, or as I like to refer to him as Mr. Metals. Oh? Yeah, armed with a battle carrier, I would call it. Oh, yes. I remember these diplomats, I like to use air quotes for. To, Versta. Let's see. They don't want the Alliance. This question, I'm actually not going to ask too many questions here. The Alliance, probably, if they're like America or NATO, depending on how you want to look at it, then probably they can't officially know that they're there. That and they probably couldn't get authorization to move Alliance warships that close to Pact and in the Neutral Rim. The diplomats are probably protected through some form of treaty, but I don't think that's going to stop Pact from destroying them. Huh. I mean, I guess we'll I don't think it matters if I ask them. Okay, it's a little different here. Oh, I see. And why is that a bad thing? You know, from our perspective, as the Sunrider, getting the Alliance involved would pit I believe, the only other great superpower left in the galaxy against Pact. It's kind of exactly what we want. I'm going to pick the first one because he'll like that better. Yeah. Yeah, we do have a very big gun. New golden age of privateering, and, well, kind of reminds me of the Cold War in a way. A scenario of mercenaries and proxies. You'll be fighting from the sidelines. You'll be supporting and providing weapons for each side that is fighting, and hoping that you get a new ally at the end of it to bolster your strength instead of directly fighting the other. Alright. Let's get a report. Let me see what Alliance has got. Yeah, a military economy and a research alliance between the planets of Solaris, which is the core capital world of the Solar Alliance. It's true, Solaris is pretty far away. Not all democracies, just because it's a democracy doesn't strictly make it a good thing. It's true. Think about it this way. As of right now, if Earth became a democracy overnight, under one vote, whoever won that vote as the sitting president would represent over 7 billion people. That's a little much, don't you think? And also that, you can have multiple parties and then you get a deadlock and then just nothing happens. It's actually what I view the perk of a more military-themed government with a single person in charge. Not strictly a dictatorship, but something where civil and military are kind of separated from each other. So that items like foreign affair and other objects of interest of the country in regard to interacting with other countries isn't, taking an age. And also, if you have one central figure in charge, you're not going to sit here arguing over every little detail. Stuff will start happening. Whether or not they're good or bad things depends on who's in charge. And you can see right here, they're split on the subject. United Universalist Party and the Solar Congress wants to take the warpath. However, the Progressive Party wishes to negotiate. Yep. Because they can't... They're at an impasse. They need an outside event to push them one way or the other. And that is, in my opinion, one of the biggest flaws of diplomacy through democracy. You can get this deadlock where just nothing happens. Because each side is so entrenched that their idea is the better idea. So you get scenarios where you need an event. You need something to happen externally, because if nothing else changes, like, nothing will happen. There's nothing either side can say to convince the other. They need an external event to happen. Now, let me see what pact is. Yeah, People's Alliance for Common Treatment. Against the new Empire, which, if memory serves, how this story works is there was effectively the Holy Roman Empire and the, original human... a cross between the Holy Roman Empire and, the original human Star League from Battletech. I think they were called the Star League. So you've got, a bunch of lost tech sitting around now because the Empire collapsed, and New Eden is a part of the new Empire, where Pact has formed and effectively filled the power vacuum. Insert stereotype for monarchy here. Because you would think the people in power would learn their own lessons. It's simple. They revolted with their new ideology, and they now must enlighten the rest of the galaxy under one banner. They must enlighten or give this ideology to everyone else. Everyone else must embrace it in one way or the other. Something like that. Extreme nationalism and paranoia. Mysterious figure known as Vinixar Arcadius took power. I still don't know. If you've seen the last playthrough, I still can't say that word. Vinixar, I don't even know what language that's in. the letters are in English, obviously. Much of him is shrouded in mystery. He hides behind a mask and speaks only through a computer. So if you've never heard his voice and you've never seen his face... Huh. I wonder why. I'm sure that'll become a plot point later. I haven't played this game through to the finish. My experience with the game is only to where the last LP ended. So if you want to see where I was, you can go check on the channel. There should be a playlist. This may be the same playlist, I don't know. I see, that also tends to happen. So why aren't they at war? Yeah, so effectively, on the one hand, there's the party who believes that they can negotiate. In the Solar Alliance, you have, I think it was the Progressive Party, believes, from my understanding, that they can negotiate their way out of the war with Pact. They can avoid a war with Pact. On the other hand, the, I forget what the name the other party, the Universalist Party, I think that's what it was. Either way, the other party who wants to go to war sees that delaying the war allows Pact to consolidate their new gains in the neutral rim and leading them into a much stronger position for a war that's going to happen anyway. Like, Pact will attack them anyway. That's the view that they have. There is effectively, other than offering an unconditional surrender, nothing that Pact will accept through diplomacy. This is an opponent who is unwilling to negotiate. This is someone who you can't talk your way out of. And for some diplomats or some people who believe that you can talk your way out of most problems, have a hard time grasping that there are some people and some entities, some scenarios where the field of battle is the only way this ends. The field of battle will prove who is right, and also prove who is left. Alright. Now, after talking about my beliefs between the different ideologies and how we got here, is it really what my beliefs are, though? I don't know. We'll get more into that later. Me trying to figure out what each side's perspective. There we go. That's a better choice of words. Try to figure out what each side is thinking as to their justification for the actions they're taking. Hindsight is 20/20, of course. In these scenarios, the only way to really know who was right and who was wrong is, well, to see what happens after. However, someone has to make the choice in the end. Alright, now after 20 minutes of plot, we're going to go into some upgrades, I believe. And then hit up this next mission. Make a save. Alright, we don't have anyone to talk to? No. Anything at the store? Blackjack thruster upgrades. Huh. I don't remember what that does off the top of my head.
Welcome to Research and Development.
Okay. So... we're going to... upgrade... I want to upgrade Sunrider. To that. So now it costs 59. $748 funds remain. Again, I'm 2 funds off of that Blackjack thruster upgrade. Now then, we've buffed up, we buffed up Sunrider to the point where I can fire kinetic twice in a single turn or pulse 3 times. So what are we thinking here? Liberty shield power up, so that improves our ability to deal with shielding, or deal with beams by 5%. Blackjack health 150, that's not bad. Blackjack energy weapons to improve her punching power. Sunrider kinetic accuracy improves our hitting chance by 4%. Or we could do Sunrider punching power. I think shield power, at least 1 level of it is worth it. What else are we thinking? Would we rather have an extra 100 hit points on Blackjack to go up to 800? Or would we rather have Blackjack be punchier? I'm actually thinking I would prefer Blackjack to be a little punchier with her lasers. Could go 2 on that. What are we thinking for 2? Are we thinking for 2? To 240 and 36 on pulse? Yeah. I would agree with that.
Thank you, Captain. We'll get started right away.
I'm curious to know, actually, what everyone, if you've ever played this game, and Mask of the Arcadius is free. Think of it as an extended demo and introduction to the story for Liberation Day. Although I haven't played Liberation Day yet, so for all I know, Liberation Day is a completely different game. But if Liberation Day plays like this one, I'll be very happy with it. I've actually owned Liberation Day for a long time now. I just haven't played it because I wanted to finish this one on camera. Right. How long has it been? It's been nearly 25 minutes. Let's go shoot something. Rescue diplomats. Right, do we have any other missions? Just checking. Only 8 million people. Yeah. This empire here. That's what it's talking about. The Ryuvian Empire. This is effectively the Holy Roman Empire and the Star League? I think it was Star League from the Battletech universe. A very advanced civilization that collapsed on itself. So you have the old Ryuvian Empire, we have their descendants in the capital, a shell of its former self. So that's why it only has 8 million people left, is because they've basically been bombing each other. Alright. Huh, Pact isn't supposed to be here yet. Have we been walked into a trap? Well, try it. Time to right controls. Alright, what do we got? Basic fighters under the cruiser. You can see the cruiser has a massive flak battery range. Sunrider actually has the same flak battery range, but no shield.
All systems are green.
So we're gonna move right here.
Let's go get him.
Yes,
Move
Captain?
here. You move to at least here, actually.
Let you go, go, go.
Oh, you were there, Captain?
Move you there.
What can I do for you, Mon Capitan?
I'm gonna have you unleash a pulse.
Devastation at the speed of light. More where that came from.
Awaiting orders.
You can also unleash a pulse.
Commencing fire. The enemy has taken damage.
Do you need something scanned, Captain?
And you can turn his flak protection off.
Electronic invasion initiated.
Our hull is holding. Our hull is holding. Our hull is beginning to fracture. Our hull is beginning to fracture. Our hull is beginning to fracture.
I should probably invest in upgrading Sunrider's
Hull is
health,
beginning to fracture.
but our repair abilities are actually pretty good right now. A new warp signature. Huh. Flag. Unidentified. It is unknown. It is most assuredly hostile. Alright, unknown hostile, 700 hit points, 20 flak, 30 evasion.
The Sunrider awaits orders.
Alright, we're gonna engage in kinetic warfare.
Fire safe. On target.
We're gonna fire twice at the cruiser.
Initiating strong assault. On target.
Sunk him.
Let's go get him.
We're gonna loose a beam at this guy.
Devastation
And that's really not going to help us.
Putting the pedal to the
I'm
metal.
watching you. Please don't move me too far away, Captain.
Countermeasure successful. Engineering reports an increase in our capabilities.
Just so our armor goes, well, mostly back. Don't remember if damaged armor comes back. Oh, it does. Mitigated 15. The interface just didn't update.
Our hull is holding. Our hull is holding. Our hull is beginning to fracture. Our hull is beginning to fracture.
That shield upgrade is definitely coming in handy. These guys actually have formed up a neat little formation here.
Captain?
If you wouldn't mind shutting off his shields.
Lights off!
And his
Lights
flak.
off!
I hear ya loud and clear.
So now we can loose a laser. Or 2 pulses. We'll loose a laser at that guy.
Devastation at the speed of light. Wherever that came from.
And sure, you can actually hold up.
The Sunrider is at your disposal, Captain.
50-50. We're actually gonna focus on the little guys this round.
Target locked.
Gonna fire 3 rounds of pulse.
Confirmed hit. Commencing fire.
With average luck, we will kill him. And we did.
On target.
5 out of 10. We had 5 out of 10 twice in a row, so that was actually kind of fortunate.
Target locked. The attack is successful.
What do you need, Captain?
And we'll engage him.
Clearing the road. All for one and one for all.
Well, whoever
32, 16, and
has
2 have been
appeared, I'm pretty sure
compromised.
I recognize the writer. I actually do know who that is.
Don't worry, I'm still A-okay.
But, seems that Pack isn't too bothered by her.
Sections 32, 16, and 2 have been compromised.
Blackjack, good to go. Gonna light this place up. Wherever that came from.
Hear you, that was kind of a waste of an action. But I plan on sinking this guy this turn.
All cannons fired. The enemy has taken damage. Firing ordnance. We have struck the enemy.
For those of you wondering why I didn't miss, it's like I said last time, I can't hit a 70% to save my life, on average. However, those lower percentage ones, I hit 2 50-50s, or I think it was 2 55s, and then 2 65s, no problem. It's only the 70% ones that I am just unable to hit.
Our systems have been enhanced, Captain.
What do you need, Captain?
You have no chance to hit, so you'll just chill out there.
Our hull is holding.
That's adorable.
How can I help?
Go ahead and get some repairs.
Ooh, thank you. Let's go get him.
Go ahead and loose a laser.
I'm firing my laser.
Pew pew!
Wonder where that came from.
Sure, you may open fire.
Have a taste of this. Score one for the good guys.
I'm actually gonna hold fire here. See what it does. She's gonna fire lasers at me.
Our hold is holding.
Cool, cool.
How can I help?
Our systems have been enhanced, Captain.
What do you need, Captain?
Yes, Captain.
Right, you can fire kinetic when ready.
Initiating. Our weapons have failed to hit.
There's a miss. Try it again.
Initiating. On target.
There we go. Yep. I got him with the big gun. Which somehow only destroyed the warp booster. But at least it was worth $300. Yep, Pack Fleet is history. Yeah, let's bring her in. Yes. Not necessarily. Well, there are scenarios where they do it that way. That's probably a good idea. You have any weapons there, Chigara? That might be useful. I think the microphone is working now. We're having some problems with the microphone. I'm not exactly sure what did and didn't get picked up on the microphone, so I'll go ahead and repeat myself here. This person over here on the far left, that is Ikari. We actually haven't seen her name, well, we did see her name pop up. Not exactly sure how we know it, unless it's written inside her rider. But, I guess she assumed we were captured, that we had captured her, and we were packed, even though clearly the vessels she was fighting alongside were pack vessels. There we go. Ikari Ishidole? Ishidole? Private mercenary. Enough assassination tools to topple a small government. I wonder if she could hear that whole discussion. Well, the evidence that was presented in front of me has kind of proven otherwise, there, friend. Well, you just answered your own question as to what we are. Well, you say that, yet you didn't shoot at the cruiser when you were right behind it and I had its shields down. So, you say one thing, but then do another. You know. I'm assuming Phoenix is her rider. Well, I know Phoenix is her rider. Oh. Mr. Metals. So he did the sensible thing and hired more than one mercenary to ensure he had fallback plans should one unit fail to accomplish the mission. What he didn't say, though, was that he didn't tell any of us he did that. Maybe he had no way of telling, there may be something on the other end. Either way, we were effectively on the same side. We had a blue on green scenario, where we're both actually on the same side, but we were shooting at each other. Mainly because we had no way of identifying each other. Yeah. Contract assassin. Yeah. She is either here, well, considering she's an assassin, she's either here to extract them discreetly and eliminate some undesirables, probably because the governmental forces who they were negotiating with probably now need to cease to exist. No, I can imagine a bunch of people needing shot, considering that the negotiations failed. Yeah. Yeah, then you'll just leave. We'll see about that. In 100 years. I'm guessing it's been 100 years since that empire collapsed. I see. Remember what I was saying earlier about both factions need a event? They need something to push them over the edge so that some people's minds can be changed. Because right now talking isn't doing them a whole lot. But if a specific outrage or a specific action were to be taken, you can push them over the edge. Something like that. Yeah, it'll be one of those the ends justifies the means scenario. Probably. But here's the other thought. We'll have the Alliance's support, but the whole reason that we have this neutral rim is because, well, these people kind of don't want to be a part of the Alliance. Or Pact, for that matter. When you think about it, because Pact was invading them. So, what's stopping the Alliance from expanding all of its territory? You could also argue that the Alliance was justified in expanding its territory. It is kind of doing a lot of the dying for these planets. Here's the thing. With her skills in mind, it's unlikely the cell door makes a difference. You know, with her being an assassin, and the fact that, you know, her rider is just outside, it could have an AI in it that's, you know, attacking our computer systems right now. So, making her upset could make her do something undesirable. However, she may still do that undesirable thing, and it's easier to corral her in the cell. So, yes? Alright, looks like we got some people to talk to. Let's start with, our friend here in the mess hall. We'll see. You know, I actually think we get a choice in this mission that's coming, and I tried to rescue the diplomats last time, and I couldn't do it, and so I let them die. Sure. I'm still probably going to do whatever I feel like doing. That probably advances the plot. Let's see what Chigara has to say. Yeah, how is the research station coming?
Welcome to research.
Oh yeah,
and
it just
development.
throws us into R&D. Let me see. What am I thinking here for R&D? What are we thinking? What do we want? What do we want? Well, we could buff kinetic twice. We could buff our accuracy. It leaves us at 270. That would get us a hull plating upgrade for Blackjack, which is one thing we were considering last time. What else are we considering? Not quite enough for a reactor upgrade for Liberty. Maybe time for some hit points for Sunrider? What about energy weapon accuracy for, not enough for energy weapon accuracy. Not enough for missile storage, so I don't really think there's much use in buffing missile damage. Let's buff kinetic. Because I just buffed its range effectively, so we'll go +1 firepower.
Thank you, Captain. Come again soon.
Go have a chat with her. Go through this. I think we, oh, I could have chosen the other option. Oh well. Alright, I think that... I don't remember if that advances the plot or not. We'll end it here for today, though. Next time, let's play Sunrider, Mask of the Arcadius. Well, we'll go try to rescue the diplomats. I will see you then.